Hello. Hope you're having a great day today. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. I really appreciate your time. Today I want to talk about NerdWallet's 2025 homebuyer report. So NerdWallet's been doing this homebuyer report, I think maybe for the last 7 or 8 years. And this year's report has some interesting findings in it, things that you may or may not expect. For example, the report reveals that there's starting to be a lot of pent-up demand to buy a house, even though it may be a tough market as it relates to affordability. In fact, nearly 15% of Americans say they plan to buy a house in the next 12 months. And it might be a first-time home buyer or a move-up buyer, but 15% of Americans say they plan on buying a house in the next 12 months. And that actually equals just a little bit under 40 million Americans. It is also the highest number that they've had in this report. Previous was 15% or it was 11% a couple years ago, and it was 8%. So 15% is the most amount of Americans that say they're going to buy a home in the next 12 months. So that's super encouraging. However, there are some things, so that's a very encouraging thing. However, there are some discouraging things that just should encourage us as mortgage and real estate professionals. That lets us know we have a lot of work to do to try to help people achieve the dream of America, the dream of home ownership. So last year, only 28% of the people who wanted to buy a home, who intended to buy a home, actually were able to buy a house. So only 28% of the people motivated to buy a house last year did it. Now, there's a whole bunch of reasons why they couldn't do it. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to share the actual charts with you on that. But one of the distressing things from this report was that the average amount that home buyers expect to spend on buying a home is around $260,000. And that's a problem since the average price is $420,000. So there's a little bit, there's a gap in knowledge from home buyers. That's part of why they get discouraged. And you know what I'm gonna do? I want to go ahead and just share this report so you guys can see it. I'll put a link to it below, as you would expect. Here is the report from NerdWallet. You can see. And now, the thing I like, there's a bunch of really good charts and graphs in here. That's what I'm going to go down to. This one right here is another problem. What steps have you taken in the home buying process thus far? And this is for people who plan to buy a house in the next 12 years or 12 months. And 54% have started looking at houses online in like little apps, their little Zillow apps, what it might be. 44% have started working on their credit score. 42% have created some sort of budget. 41% are saying they're starting to pay attention to mortgage rates. 41% have started to research real estate agents. About a third of them have started saving for a down payment. About a third of them have stopped by open houses. 30% of them have actually hired a real estate agent. 27% have got pre-approved for a mortgage. So all in all, for people who want to buy a house in the next 12 months, they're not quite yet in position. They haven't really taken the steps they need to take to be successful. And that's where, as real estate mortgage professionals, we can start to help educating people on the process it takes to buy a house, especially if you want to buy a house in the next 12 months. Now, for the people that wanted to buy a house in 2024, I mentioned only 28% were successful. 18% said, no, I didn't do it because I couldn't afford it. 16% said no because their offer wasn't accepted. 14% said they couldn't find a house that met their needs. 13% said the mortgage was too expensive. 11% said, I just decided to wait till 2025 because I think it's going to be easier. Personally, I don't think so, but they think so. 10% said, hey, we couldn't get homeowners insurance. The homeowners was such a hassle that we decided to say no. 9% couldn't qualify for a mortgage. So once again, we have all sorts of opportunity not only to educate potential home buyers, but also to position them for success. As you can see, there's all sorts of great charts here. Now, here are the things that are preventing people from buying a home. And if you can see my screen right now, the green bar is first-time home buyers and the blue bar is move-up buyers. So that's what the two different ones are. So number one challenge is the cost of living has got too high. Not the cost of homes, not the cost of a monthly housing expense, but just the cost of living overall is too high. A third of them said, I don't have enough money. I'm talking about first-time home buyers, by the way. 32% said, I don't have enough income. 32% said, I don't have a good enough credit score. 31%, hey, there's no available homes within my budget or what I can get approved for. 26% said, hey, mortgage rates are a little too high. 26% are just kind of scared about the mortgage or the economic climate. 20%, hey, there's not the type of homes I want. 19% said they had too much debt. 19% said the housing market is too competitive. 16% said that the economy is headed to a recession. They don't want to buy a house heading to a recession. 15% were worried about their job security, and on and on and on. So, as you can see now, this is another bad thing in this report. 69% of homeowners, or 69% of Americans said now is a bad time to buy a home. And that's really high. That's high compared to previous surveys. So there you go. That's what it said. There's pent-up demand. 40 million people want to buy a home in the next 12 months, whether it's move-up or first-time home buyers. They're unprepared. They really haven't done the work they need to do, and they're somewhat uneducated on how to do it, and they need help. They need to get hooked up with professionals, and they haven't quite done it yet. This home buyer report has a bunch of other good data in it, including they have some survey questions about people's belief of home ownership. I think something like 70% of Americans think there's too much, or 54% of Americans think there's too much pressure to buy a home in the United States. There's some really good insights. It was actually a really good report. So check this report out. Start to craft your strategies on to help people buy homes. And then reach out to these folks because they're not reaching out to us. And not reaching out to us, we're preventing them from being able to buy the house. So we have to go find these people. We have to go find the people that want to buy a house in 12 months but don't talk to us so we can help them. That's the encouragement here. So I'm gonna post a link in the notes below. I did a full summary and write-up on LinkedIn today on this, as well as gave links to the articles there. So check out my LinkedIn. I hope you found this useful. I actually really like this article. I got a lot out of it. I hope you did too. I hope you can use this information to help you serve potential home buyers as they try to achieve or try to expand on the American dream. With that, thanks so much for being here today. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day.